Alright, so I'm working on the Ventura this morning, and this car's never been taken apart before. I think it's completely original, so I thought I would turn the camera on for a couple of the details. You can see how the firewall is painted and where it's not painted. I always thought it was body color, but I guess they come black. I don't know. This car looks pretty original to me. You can see the seam sealer and stuff's coming off. Probably gonna have to do some work to the firewall of this, paint it at least whatever body color we're gonna paint it, and cut all this in before we throw it all back together. But been cleaning up the seam sealer, and it's just popping off. It's the original GM stuff. But all the little vacuum hoses, all the little squirters, everything's pretty correct on this thing. These are a little rusted. I have another cowl panel. It doesn't look like it got into the cowl of the car, but we'll see when I get this pulled apart. And the original harness for the wiper motor is all intact, so all this stuff is factory. So this car's a pretty good diagram of where the vacuum hoses come through the firewall and what grommets. All the plates are in place, all the original paper. And I'm trying to keep all that stuff as nice as possible as I take it apart. This was a 6-cylinder car, so we won't be using this front clip at all. I'm going to save this. I did unbolt the steering box and the pump. Even though it's a 6-cylinder car, it looks like it's a fairly low mileage car that probably got wrecked. The last time it was on the road would be, looks like it was in North Carolina. April of 07, so it's been a few years anyway, but everything seems to be pretty much intact. Here's the AC unit and the wiring, the way it's placed. Comes over to the motor. I would think that's probably how GM hooked it up. Still has all the little vacuum ports or one-way valves in place. Here's the wiring on top of the box. Don't know about this wire here. Doesn't really seem to be anywhere for it. It's just sitting up there. But here's the original plastic piece. It looks like that holds the washer lines. I thought it'd be good to get some of that. You can see this side over here, the same way with the paint. Sort of broke off right here. And the seam sealer is definitely, it's ready. It's all hard. Let's see if I can find a screwdriver here. Ship some out for you. So we'll just pull all this stuff out of here and avoid the rust, because it doesn't seem to have a lot of rust underneath it, just surface. So we'll clean that up and re-seam seal. But that would be the original. I know a lot of us try to make them so pretty, tape them off and make the lines perfect, and you can see how the factory did it. You know, it's sort of just globbed up in there. So totally different standards when they built these cars from the guys that restore them, for sure. But it's always cool to look at one before it's been taken apart. This has welded on hinges, which is sort of a bummer. They're sort of hard to rebuild, but we might have to throw a bushing in those to make the doors work a little sweeter. All these little relays, everything's intact. Did have to sacrifice one brake line here, but we're not using any of these brake lines on this swap. We're going to use the brake lines that are already in place with the new hoses and calipers and stuff over here on this front clip. So that's where we're at on this. Thought I would just turn the camera on and give you a peek of that. Getting ready to pull the cowl panel off, the wipers, and just cleaning up my area here. And then I think I'm going to lower the car down a little bit now And now that, you know, I'm not trying to get the motor underneath it, get it closer to the ground, and then I'll roll this subframe over there and start bolting her in. I'm having a hard time finding the body bushings for some reason. Well, it's Murphy's Law, I think that's what they call it. So I might have to temporarily put these bushings that are in here back in here, and we'll replace those. I'll definitely replace them. I thought about maybe just getting some new rubber bushings. I might have some of those in the cabinet. I think somebody sent me a bag of those. And if I have the new rubber ones, we might just go that way with this route, so it doesn't translate a lot of the motor noise into the car. Try to make this as nice as possible. So that's where we're at with this. I'll give you another look. I know a lot of guys like this Pontiac. It's that door's a little saggy. It's a little different from a Nova, you know, different enough to be pretty cool. And I think it's pretty cool. Needs some rubbers and stuff, but like I said, this thing's pretty original. It's original paint for sure. Somebody primed over it, but I think it was that sort of off-color green. There's the steering wheel and the miles. 50,000 mile car with AC. I'm going to try to leave the AC intact and with the big block in there, and try to buy a compressor and a bracket and make that work, because that'd be pretty sweet. The headliner definitely needs to be done, which is a bummer because that's sort of hard to get done. But yeah, visors are really nice. Still has the original paperwork there, so that's cool. The seat belts are tucked up here, which is pretty cool. So seat belts, shoulder harnesses. I guess if you want them, you can use them. If not, you tuck them up there in that little protector. That's probably not showing up in this camera. Back panels are pretty decent. The seat obviously needs to be recovered on the top, but the bottom's good. So that's what's going on. So anyway, that's what's happening. Get the vacuum going. I got this spread out like a disease in here. I got to get Hans to help me get this out of here. This is a little heavier than I remembered. Or I'm just getting old, I don't know. Probably the latter. But anyway, here's some of the original grommets or fender spacers. That's what they look like. The new ones aren't quite like that. It's got the original bumpers. Original harness that goes across, or seal. So we'll try to reincorporate all this stuff into the other front clip. I have a front clip that came off of the burn car that's in pretty decent shape. As far as all the trim, the headlight rings, the grille pieces, all the badging, all that stuff is brand new. So we're going to incorporate that onto this car. So yeah, I'm hoping that air condition won't have any, it should fit fine, because I think that's the same box they use with a 6-cylinder or 350 or 455. Hopefully it's not a different box. So that would be the only downside to that. But I want to try to keep all that intact, because I'm sure it's all pretty decent. And I guess I could test the evaporator in there and make sure that it holds air pressure. But when I broke the lines loose, it had all the original refrigerant oil in there. So I think it would get dry down, and some new hoses, and maybe a new dryer wherever it's at, unless this just has an expansion block. Maybe that's what that is. But a few new components out here. Maybe we can make that AC work. But anyway, this is what's happening here today. Andrea said that one of the tubers from Washington called last night, but it was really late, so you got to remember there's a little difference in time. I do that to Matt all the time. I'll call him at 1 o'clock and he's going to work, and I'm taking my nap. But anyway, try to give us a call. I think there's like 4 or 5 hours difference. I can't remember what it is. There's a pretty big time gap there. But that's why Andrea didn't answer. She saw where you called this morning, but she wasn't being rude, but she was completely asleep, and she knew all her kids were home, so she wasn't answering the phone. So anyway, let me get back on this. The battery's about to die on this camera. Got the 3-minute warning, and we'll turn this back on when I get this back underneath the car and make it roll.